Good morning. Let's see, I think it's Happy Friday. I'm not sure, but we got a 3-day weekend coming up, which is really nice. I know it doesn't seem like it's any different than any other day, but I won't have new homework on Monday. So today we're going to talk about day 2. We're heading a little closer to actually doing logarithms. So in the previous assignment, we estimated between which two consecutive integers an exponent fell. And so we're going to research that a little bit more and see how we can get closer and closer to finding the exact answer. So we're going to start off with a warm-up. So if you can take a minute to see if you can find the value of x here. So pause the video, give that a try, and then go ahead and start the video when you're ready. So remember we said that we wanted to try to get the same base. And so in this case right now, 16 and 32 are not the same base. So if we take a look at 16, that's 4 times 4, and 4 is 2 times 2. And so notice that 16 is 2 to the 4th power, and then that's all to the x power. And then if we look at 32, do you see that that's 2 times 16? And since we already said that 16 was equal to 2 to the 4th power, we now know that 32 is 2 to the 5th power. And if you don't believe me, you can check on your calculator. So remember we said when we have an exponent of an exponent, we multiply. So this is going to be 2 to the 4x power is equal to 2 to the 5th. And now since my bases are the same, I can set my exponents equal to each other. So 4x is equal to 5. And then dividing both sides by 4, we get x is equal to 5/4. So if I take 16 to the 5/4 power, I should get 32. So note that we could solve that equation because we could get the bases to be equal. But just like we noticed in our homework from Tuesday, that's not always true. So for example, if when we tried to solve 3 to the x power equal to 5, we're going to need a function to help us get to an exact value. So hopefully you recognize that x would fall between 1 and 2 because 5 falls between 3 to the 1st and 3 to the 2nd. But what we want to do is find that a little bit more exact than what we were doing. So we need to recall what an inverse of a function is. And so if you notice, this blue line is the exponential function of y is equal to 5 to the x power. So for example, 5 to the negative 1 would be 1/5, 5 to the 0 would be 1, and 5 to the 1st power would be 5. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to reflect that across the line y equal x. So imagine if this was on paper, we would be folding it along that dashed line, and we would get this green function here. And so this is where the x and the y's switch. So notice this is at negative 1 comma 1/5, and now we're at 1/5 comma negative 1. This was at 0, 1, and now we're at 1, 0. This was at 1, 5, and now we're going to be at 5 comma 1. And so these are inverses of each other. And since the graph of exponential functions passed the horizontal line test, meaning if I took my pencil and I did horizontal line test across the blue graph, it would pass that. We would only touch one point at a time. Then that means the inverse, meaning the green graph, would pass the vertical line test. And so the inverse is also a function. So we can also find inverses of exponential functions by interchanging the x and the y values, just like I showed you in the graph. And so we can do that algebraically as well. So notice the blue graph is y is equal to 5 to the x power, and the green graph is x is equal to 5 to the y power. We switched the x and the y. So when we look at this new equation, y is going to be called the logarithm. So notice each time we were trying to solve, we were trying to look for that exponent value. And so it's usually written in this form. And so we read it as y is the log base 5 of x. So the function y equals to the log base a of x is called a logarithmic function. So the blue graph is an exponential function, and the green graph is its inverse, which is the logarithmic function. So we want to be able to transfer between forms. So we want to be able to go from exponential form to logarithmic form and backwards. And so these x and y values mean the same thing. So this y value that is an exponent here is this y value over here. So notice that a log is really just an exponent. So just like we were doing on Tuesday, trying to estimate that exponent, that's what we're doing with logarithm, is trying to find the value of that exponent. And so in that problem, y is the exponent, a is the base. And so we want a to be greater than 0 because we don't want it to flip across the x-axis as the powers go from even to odd, because if it was negative, evens would be above the x-axis and odds would be below. And we don't want a to be equal to 1 because that would just be a straight line, and that's boring. And so then if the base has to be greater than 0, then that means a positive or zero value, a positive value to an exponent will always give you a positive value. So x will also have to be positive. So in the logarithmic form, y still represents the exponent, a still represents the base, so the base has to be greater than 0 and not equal to 1, and x still has to be a positive number. So the thing to remember, because x has to be a positive number, you cannot take the log of a negative number. So think back to that green graph. We had an asymptote at x is equal to 0, and there were no green points to the left of the y-axis. So if we take a look at these questions, these are currently in logarithmic form, and we want to be able to write them in exponential form. So remember, exponential form says that we want a base to a power equal to a number, correct? So looking at question number 1, we would call this log base 3 of 81 is equal to 4. So my base is 3, my exponent is 4, because remember we said logs are exponents, and then my number is 81. And what I want you to notice is if I plugged 3 to the 4th power into my calculator, I would get 81. So it should be a correct equation when you're done. So take a moment to pause the video and see if you can answer 2 and 3. So for question number 2, my base is going to be 8. My exponent is 1/3 because remember a log is equal to an exponent. And my number is 2. And notice the cube root of 8 is equal to 2. And then coming over here, my base is 10. My power is -2. And we're saying that that's equal to 1 over 100. And notice this says flip it and square it. And if I flipped 10, I get 1/10. And when I square it, I get 1 over 100. So now we're going to do the reverse. And I have it in exponential form, and I want us to be able to write it in logarithmic form. So remember, logarithmic form said that y is equal to the log base a of x. And so here, my base is 3, my exponent is 3, and my number is 27. So we're going to say the log base 3 of the number 27 is equal to 3. So we're saying 3 to the 3rd power is 27. So this is the log form. So remember, the right side number is always your exponent. So take a moment to pause the video and go ahead and do questions 5 and 6. So this is saying that I have the log. The base of my exponent is 5, so the base of my log is 5. My number is 1 over 125. That's what I want it to be equal to. And my exponent is -3. So remember, a log is always looking for an exponent. And question number 6, we have the log base 1/4 of the number 256 is equal to the exponent, which is -4. So let's see if we could use that information in order to be able to solve these log questions. So remember, we can set this equal to x if we want to, and remember we said logs are equal to exponents. So we're saying what exponent of 7 gives me 7 to the 3rd, or I think Mr. Darrow calls it what power of 7 gives me 7 to the 3rd. So if I take this and put it into exponential form, we're saying 7 to what power gives me 7 to the 3rd. And if you're more comfortable with calling that y, totally fine. So now that my bases are the same, I can say that x is equal to 3. So what I'd love for you to do is try to pause it each time and try each problem on your own, and then see the answer and see where you need to fill in those blanks. So taking a look at number 8, we would say that this is equal to x. So I'm saying what power of 10 gives me 0.001? So let's take a look at 0.001. Do you see that the 1 is in the thousands place? And so that means this is saying 10 to the x is equal to 1 in the 1,000th place. So if we look at that, 1,000 is 10 to the third, and to put it in the denominator, we would call that negative 3. So 1 over 1,000 is the same as 10 to the negative 3. So we get that x is equal to negative 3. So we would say 10 to the negative 3 power gives me 0.001 or 1,000. So taking a look at this next one, we can set this equal to x. So we would say 8 to what power gives me 4,096. Now I'm going to pause the video for a minute and mess with my calculator. So now that I have my calculator handy, we know that 8 to the first is 8, 8 to the second is 64, 8 to the third is going to give me 512, and 8 to the fourth is going to give me 4,096. So that means that we have 8 to the x is equal to 8 to the fourth power. So now that my bases are the same, we can say that x is equal to 4. All right. So then if we take a look at question number 10, we have setting this equal to x. Putting this in exponential form would tell me 4 to the x is equal to 32. Now, even though 42 goes into 32, it doesn't mean that I can get them to be the same base with a base of 4. But I do notice that 4 is 2 times 2, so that I've got 2 to the 2x power here. And we just figured out in the warm-up that 32 was 2 to the 5th power. Now I have the same bases, even though that base wasn't 4. So I can say that 2x is equal to 5, making x equal to 5 halves, or 2.5. So that means if I take 4 to the 5 halves power, I get 32. Question 11, if I set this equal to x, we're saying 3 to what power gives me 1? And so this is one of those strange ones. Remember that 1 could be any base to the 0 power. So 1 is the same as 3 to the 0 power. And so that tells me that x is equal to 0. And then finally, I've got 6 to the x is equal to 1 over 216. So I'm going to take a look at 6. So 6 to the first is equal to 36. 6 to the first is equal to 6. That's a no-brainer. 6 to the second is 36. And if I do 6 to the third power, I get 216. And so I notice that this is 6 to the x power equal to 216 is 6 to the third. And to put it in the denominator, I would take the negative of it. So 6 to the negative third says put it in the bottom and cube it. And so now I can say that x is equal to negative 3. So that tells me that 6 to the negative 3 power is equal to 1 over 216. So we're going to pause here and just get used to going back and forth between exponential and logarithmic form. And I hope you have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, and I will see you on Tuesday.